Okay.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Everyone's good?
I thought you were recording this whole time. I wish you had been.
Of course.
You were?
Of course.
Genius.
This is it.
You genius.
Wait, he was recording.
What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Episode 3 in the building. This is That's Unfortunate. Your
Yes.
society / culture / everything unfortunate podcast.
Oh my God.
It's your boy, SSJ Blackrat, a.k.a. y'all already know where this is going, a.k.a. SSJ Blackrat, a.k.a. Mr. Muckluck, a.k.a. the great one. We're here.
It's Chris.
It's Chris.
It's Chris.
I'm excited. I'm always excited. If you couldn't tell with my intro. And we actually have her in the building.
I'm here today, guys.
She's here.
I'm
Praise
here.
the Lord.
My name is Velvet, as you all know or should know.
Should. If you don't, why the fuck
Sorry,
not?
I'm working with our social media. Okay, my name is Velvet on Instagram at. Fuck. Oh, Velvet Isabel X. So VelVetisabelX. And I'm here, Rona free.
Yay.
Oh, wait, I think is this the button for it? Oh, no. Oh, wait. Yeah. There we go.
Test him ahead of time. He's like, which one is it? Oh, wah, wah.
Welcome back.
Are you sure?
Velvet's back. Wah, wah.
Right.
Tell him how you really feel.
Yeah, so after figuring out that you're negative, I see that you went and turned up for a little bit.
Bitch. I'm sorry, not you, but hardly. So we went. We were supposed to go to Florida, but we couldn't go because my cousin over there tested positive. The irony in that. So we ended up going to Savannah for the weekend. An absolute disaster. My mom and my grandma both passed out in the beach.
It was Savannah, though.
Drink your waters, friends.
It was hot
Drink
as
your
crap, I
waters.
guess.
So we're not going to skate past this because passing out on the beach, every time I hear the story, it's extra. It's always like super extra.
So
how many helicopters? How many lifeguards?
No, like we even lost my grandma for like a good 30 minutes because like what happened is she passed out. Lifeguards came, they came to like help her enough to like get her up on her feet or whatever, and then they got her on those little like lifeguard go-kart, whatever the fuck things they're called, and they were transporting her off the beach. And because there wasn't enough space for all of us in that little car thing, me and my mom and my sister were going to get in the other one. So in that moment, my mom ends up passing out too. Oh. So my grandma's off the beach, who knows where. And then my mom's passed out on the floor. We're trying to get her to come back to life. And so like 10, 15 minutes later, she comes back. They put her in an ambulance and my grandma's lost. And it was a fucking disaster. We didn't get to our hotel till like 9 o'clock that night.
So, like, did they pass out because they were dehydrated?
They were dehydrated.
Yes, they were dehydrated because they don't like to drink
all that
water.
because they ain't drink no water.
Drink your waters.
Out there drinking Coronas on the beach.
Hold on, look, okay, this is like not. You can pass out from not drinking water.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, what if you drink other stuff?
No, like
You
water.
gotta drink water. What are you?
I haven't drank water in like 6 days.
Jade. Yeah, but they were also out in the heat sweating. When you're sweating, you expel like all the water.
You should
that you
still
have
like
in
be
your
drinking
body.
water on a regular basis. Like at least like you don't even drink like 1 bottle a day. Not even. Oh well.
Okay.
Follow us on Jade's new health journey as she learns to drink water at least daily.
Please. Please.
We'll start at every other.
Morgan, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? If you've been here before, you know I'm Morgan. If you haven't, what's good? You can follow me at heymo0731 on Instagram.
I'm
Heck
Jade.
yeah.
Keep going.
You can follow me on Instagram at Jade_is_confused because I'm confused. And on all other platforms as
real.
Jade Cooley. That's all.
Can I just say really quick that we left out 2 parts of our second introduction last week.
Did we?
We didn't do everything really.
What did
We talked mostly about
religion.
yeah,
We did religion. We didn't really talk too much about science.
But
Yeah.
we mentioned them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we really talk about it though? I kind of want to talk about it a little bit.
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
All right, let's
I
talk
want to
about
talk
it.
about this.
Okay, I'll have you lead it because just like I said last week, I'm a Capricorn. I'm basic.
That's it.
Earth
basic,
sign.
that's it?
Like that's all I really know. I'm not like.
Capricorns are very,
don't
very, very,
study
very
your,
full of themselves.
You don't study your
I use the pattern. That's it. It doesn't even really talk about horoscopes or anything.
Capricorns are usually like full of themselves.
Am I full of myself though?
I don't think he's full
Or
of
like
himself.
over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have y'all not seen
Hence
his
the
intro?
term
Yeah.
Capricorn.
So is that me? Damn, I feel you came straight.
I'm an Aries. I'm hateful.
feel some type of way.
I'm a Leo.
What's like your worst characteristic?
As a Leo?
Is it me?
Yeah.
I overthink a lot. A lot.
My worst characteristic? I'm an Aries.
Well, I asked hers, but you looked at me, so I was like, "What? You got something?"
Wait, what's
to
your
say?
sign again?
Me?
Yeah.
Pisces.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know what she means
Wait,
by that.
so
Hey,
what's
so what
your
is that? So
word?
what
This
does
isn't a
that
bad
even
thing.
mean?
I like
Yeah.
Pisces. I like Pisces.
My worst thing, I cry too fucking much. I cry like almost every day over something. I cry so much. I swear to God, I'm an emotional ass bitch.
I cry a lot too.
I'm depressed.
Go.
I mean, same, but
I'm depressed.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I
Ironically.
think for me, I think too much. I analyze stuff too much.
Oh, same. Oh my god.
But I think that's just like a personal trait. I don't think that's a Capricorn thing, is it?
I don't know. It could have something to do with it.
I don't know. Like
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
You should start looking at like your horoscopes.
Cafeastrology.com. Look up your natal chart. It is the most specific way to figure out like how the stars and the planets affect your personality.
It asks your birthday, where you were born, and the time you were born.
Like I said, the pattern does all that. So like it's
Oh,
like,
well, there
hey,
you go.
you know, you have this going out for you, and I get like my coworkers on it, and they're like, yo, this app is the devil. Like it knows too much about me. I'm like, no, it's technology. I don't know.
Technology.
Oh my god. Speaking of that, have you guys heard about that app? The fuck is it called? The Randonauts? Some shit like that. The one with the TikTok where you like download it and like you like think of something and then like it'll send you to like a place. Oh my god, you guys haven't heard of that shit?
I don't know what
no,
you're talking
what
about.
are you talking about?
Yeah, I deleted.
This sounds
TikTok.
new.
Okay, I don't even have TikTok. Okay,
I have TikTok,
so
but I've never heard of this.
My friend, okay, those of you who don't know, I'm super into like serial killers and all that extra shit.
Same.
And so she added me to this like Facebook page. It's about like missing people and like this weird shit, right? So they started talking about how on TikTok there was this video where these kids went random nodding. I don't even remember what the fuck it's called. I'm thinking of saying that so wrong. So sorry. And you know, they think about like you have like a thing. You just think about it, and then they'll send you coordinates, and you go to those coordinates.
Oh fuck
So-
that! No,
Yeah.
why
So
the fuck would I do that?
no, that's what I'm saying. Like we were
Wait, so
talking.
this is a serial killer app where they specifically they send
No.
you somewhere and then they have the other side of the app where the serial killer is like, all right, bet these people are
they
gonna go to
found
this.
a dead body.
Oh, you're talking about it
Yes.
sent them. The app sent them to the
To
dead
the-
body.
yes,
I heard
so-
about that.
Yeah,
oh
they,
my god,
they were on the beach. They were on the beach
I've
or
seen that.
something. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So
I didn't know it was
an
an
app
app.
Talking
there,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, it was an app that led
yeah.
them there.
Exactly. So an
What's
app
this app?
led them
I didn't know
there.
that's what the app was called. That
Can I
app
find
that
it on
she
the
just-
App Store?
You're gonna download it?
Download that shit right now.
Fucking Gen Z.
Download it when you're out of here.
Like
Okay.
that's
Yeah, so they like ended up at a beach and there was like a suitcase and they opened the suitcase and it smelled gross and it turns out it was a fucking dead body. So
suitcase?
was it? So
Yeah.
is it just that
Like
one
dismembered.
isolated
How
incident,
large
or
is
is
it?
there?
no, apparently
suitcase?
there's more incidents. I was looking into it. There's some like nicer stories where like if you think about love, I saw this one girl. She was talking about like she literally didn't even put in her name or any. Well, that's what she said. I don't know if it's true or not. She didn't put in her name or anything like that. But she was thinking about love, and it sent her to where her parents met. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
so sweet.
So yeah. So it just depends on what you think of. So like if you're thinking about like
So if
death
you're gonna
and shit,
think
it's-
about a murderer, then it's gonna take you to a murder.
How does it read
Is,
your
is,
thoughts?
I was say, isn't it sort of like how like a Ouija board works? Like it, like
I love Ouija boards.
I was talking about it with some friends in VR the other day, and apparently, like it has like that connotation of, you know, because of like The Exorcist, that like Ouija boards are like instruments of like evil and destruction, but it's more or less the energy that you put into it.
Yes,
Right.
yeah. So
Well,
that's
I mean,
Well, I mean,
what
just because
the
I watched The
app
Handmaid's Tale doesn't mean I should be scared of Christians. Like, it's,
I love The Handmaid's Tale. Man.
I do too. Oh my gosh, you know it's not coming back until 2021.
I
But like
have
the
no
next
idea
season.
what
I'm mad
that's
as
bullshit.
hell.
You've never seen it?
Me neither.
Oh my
heard of it.
gosh.
Heard about it, but never.
Y'all should really watch
Oh,
it.
it's good.
I think.
you guys.
I think
Trigger warning, there's, like,
someone
a
tried
lot
to describe the show to me, but I was half listening. So
Okay, well, trigger warning. There's a lot of sexual assault and abuse. But it's a good show, so.
All right, so those are that's signs. Like, so what about like signs? What else should we go into about like certain things that we have to like know about our signs?
Is there a certain sign that you prefer as far as dating? Anybody?
No.
So I heard Scorpios are like super sexual. So
Scorpios are awful.
I avoid Geminis. That's like one of the
my
signs
moon
I avoid.
sign. It makes sense because I don't like Geminis either, and I hate myself.
and why?
I avoid other Pisces as well. I can't be with somebody.
Because if I don't have someone else to argue with, I'll argue with myself.
Oh.
Okay.
It's that deep.
Yeah, it's that deep. I'm a Gemini.
All right.
I really like Libras. They're just so ditzy and sweet, and they're just so positive.
My best friend is a Cancer. And my other best friend is an Aries.
See, I think I just don't know enough about like how certain signs should act. Where like whenever this conversation comes up, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Capricorn, and people are like, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like same. Like I'm not good with like. Okay. First of all, I suck at memorizing shit unless it's something that I'm like genuinely like 1,000% interested in. I'll memorize the shit out of it and
On
like
God.
anything and everything about it. But whatever the reason is with horoscopes, it just don't stick. So like I cannot remember all the characteristics of every sign.
No,
so
It's sad. It's sad because like I can't memorize that stuff, but I can tell you all the original 150 Pokemon.
you see,
My
All
best
of
friend
them?
Gage, who is a Libra, could do the same thing.
I know a shit ton of them. I don't know if I know all of them. I know a
like
lot.
maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I
so yeah, I mean it's like a whatever interests you the most kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, I mean, I love astrology, but the sign that I know the most about is obviously my own.
Right.
But then again, I'm an Aries, so that makes sense. We're the first sign of the zodiac. So.
I mean, I've looked it up. Like I've looked up like where like people post like things about all the signs and like, oh, you know, this is what the Capricorn should be feeling like. I'm like, okay, I can see that. So
Yeah, like check your daily horoscope. or don't.
or don't. You know, whatever.
So here's my question: do you think that as a society we would feel or like function a little bit better if we like? Because I still think like horoscopes. A lot of people when they like start talking about it, there's still like a I don't really believe in it. I don't really like.
Yeah.
You know, where do we want this conversation to go with horoscopes?
I mean, it's not like facts necessarily. Like all this shit can't be like necessarily proven, but some of it kind of makes sense. It's almost like I guess comparable to religion in a way. Like you can't really prove it, but it makes people like feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a religion, but at the same time, like it's astrology isn't used in a religion, it's used in various religions, which is why it's different from like a line of faith, because a lot of religions pull from astrology. A lot of religions pull from people's horoscopes. So
I also feel like it's kind of like you know how like some people feel about like conspiracy theories where they like believe it wholeheartedly, and then there's those other people who don't believe it at all, or then there's just some people where they like kind of believe it, but they're just
it
like
could
not
be possible. I'm not sure.
I feel like that's like kind of like the same thing.
yeah.
yeah.
Like 9/11 being a conspiracy.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it makes more sense to me
A conspiracy
because
theories,
it's older
we're
than
talking about that. That's gonna be an episode down the road. Because last night I jumped down a rabbit hole and started watching YouTube videos about like
Oh, I love that.
how like Hollywood is like in partnership with the CIA and
Did you watch the one where they said Beyonce is in the Illuminati?
Oh yeah, they've been talking about that. I was looking into that shit when I was in like high school. Her and Jay-Z and like a few other people are like in the Illuminati.
I live for
Fucking
that.
did you see that shit that Mel Gibson was
her.
saying about how like Hollywood's elite were drinking like the blood of infants or something crazy like that? Like, dude.
it's crazy, but then when
Y'all gonna get
when you
sick.
start connecting the dots, no, when you start connecting the dots and you start like looking into what they're saying, but then also like vaguely remember other stories that make sense with it. Like it's something that it can be true, it can't be. It could just be coincidence, but I don't know. I find it intriguing. I find it something where
going to make up a story, wouldn't they use like a story that already aligns with their narrative to push their narrative? I'm sorry. Just every conspiracy video I've read, like for instance, there was this one where they were like, the Avengers predicted the coronavirus, and somebody went back and looked at the picture because it looked like the coronavirus cell, and it was a spaghetti commercial. So every time that somebody tells me about a conspiracy, I'm like, it's spaghetti.
I know what meme you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. It's something that it provokes thought. Anything that provokes thought that like I could sit back and think, well, maybe this could be true. Maybe it can't be.
Do
I'm
aliens
all
fall
about.
as a conspiracy?
Do I think what?
Do aliens fall as a conspiracy?
No, aliens are real. I'm kidding, guys. No, I do believe aliens are
believe
real.
in aliens.
I think they're low key a conspiracy theory in a way because no one's seen them. Well, none of us have anyway.
See, but the thing is, like when if you happen to see an alien, now you're crazy.
Yeah, so it is low key a conspiracy theory. So is
Yeah,
so is Area 54 like what's there? There's like a whole conspiracy theory behind it too.
I mean, 51.
Yeah.
Or is 54 a whole different conspiracy theory?
Area 51. What is
Area-
54?
Who do you work for?
I was about to say,
That's what it is, bro.
God damn.
Area 54 is a restaurant that used to be
Oh
over
my
here.
god, that's literally what. See, guys,
You're so pretty.
don't do drugs, kids.
All right, so
Screw you.
so that's us talking about signs.
Area 54.
In the comments, let's if you want to talk about your signs, say something about signs. I don't know at this point.
If you believe in aliens, let us
Do you
know.
believe in aliens? Do you believe
Aliens exist,
do you-
100%.
Do you believe that Oprah and Ellen eat children?
Are you
Like,
high right now? Do you get nervous?
I believe Oprah and Ellen probably do eat children.
Oh, okay.
Not Oprah. Y'all get off her.
Bruh,
Maybe
Oprah-
Ellen.
Oprah's very problematic. We'll talk about that in
Oprah
another
had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, like a friendship. So we'll talk about that
We'll
later.
talk
Like
about that
like
later.
she said.
That's like I said, that video that I
It's a
watched.
whole
is
nother video.
That's a whole like rabbit hole. Of,
Exactly.
like,
Swear to
just
God.
connecting the dots and everything. It's crazy. So, all right, we're gonna jump into our icebreaker of the episode. This is something that we like personally in our group chat debated. I'm not gonna say we. They debated for like a good like 3 hours.
You didn't even tell us your opinion, really.
They debated about this the whole time, and I was like, wow, they're really like passionate about this. Let's talk about it on the episode.
It's important.
So, I was about to read last week's. Which fast food joint has the best fries?
Oh my God, y'all.
So I think what we're gonna do, because I have the keyboard up right now, we're going to rank them.
Rank them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let me just start
rank
off.
them.
Let me just start off by saying Jade has trash taste in fries.
let me just
Yes.
start off by saying that she could probably go and swallow a whole bunch of biscuits from Popeyes and still make it out of it alive because she'd be eating those freaking goddamn Chick-fil-A waffle fries and dry ass.
Those
damn
are
things.
so good.
Those are the worst.
They're the best.
All right, so
Okay, Jade.
Listen.
So then, what are the best if you think the Chick-fil-A ones
You
are?
All right,
gotta
so-
rank them differently.
all right,
Y'all gonna be so
This
mad.
is what we're gonna do. We are going to start off by just naming our favorites.
I was
So
just
just
gonna
no,
name
just-
my. I was
just-
gonna name
just-
my top 3 because we's not gonna agree on what order they go in.
Just so that we gotta do it. We gotta do it for the culture. Just so that we could start off in agreement. I want everyone to name their top 3,
Okay.
and then afterwards
go
we're
from there.
we'll rank.
What?
I
off of
have
that.
my top 3.
They're all
I've been
good
had
for
mine.
different reasons. It's like comparing apples to oranges.
No,
Actually, it's comparing fries to fries, but still.
Taters.
baby, I was about to say that.
It's just all about personal opinion because some of us want a more potatoey fry, some of us want a more crispy fry, some of us want their shit drowning
Look,
in
I'm just going to
grease.
go ahead and start off by saying that I like Burger King fries a lot. They're really good. They have the perfect oil to potato ratio.
Is that your top?
Yeah.
All right. So in fairness,
See how he asked
listen,
that? Is that your top?
So in fairness for the rest of us, and for you, Jade, can we just immediately put that at 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I feel like
You're the only
Wait, hold
one
on.
who li-
we are in
Hold the
agreement.
fucking-
We're in
fucking
agreement for
phone.
this. Yeah.
No. We are not in agreement for anything. Y'all
Wait,
are
what
in
are your
agreement.
other?
we.
What's your
We.
top
3 against
3,
1.
Jade?
My
Your
top 3? Okay, so they're for different reasons. I like Burger Kings because they're just like, that's the only fry that I can really eat without a sauce. That's not true.
I need a sauce with that
Arby's has some really good fries.
Their curly fries are bomb.
Their fries slap. But I don't know. Like, I grew up on pizza rolls and like feeding myself. So I like greasy shit that I can just, I don't know. It's what I like, damn it.
All right. So you said
Burger
Arby's.
King, Arby's.
What was the other one?
Chick-fil-A is one of them.
No.
No, I'm just naming
For
a
all of
restaurant.
us.
No, I'm just naming
No.
restaurants. Okay, so I personally feel like Popeyes, Arby's, and Checkers all sort of kind of fall under the same like
Checkers fries hit
seasoned
different. Well, theirs are a little
fry
more
umbrella.
crunchy.
Because even though Arby's is curly, they still all have like that same type of flavor.
Well, like if you get like
be honest.
like your little long curly fries that you get, like right in the middle, they're still like mushy, but you don't get that at Checkers. They're all crunchy.
And just another note, because we talked about this earlier.
Wendy's fries are good.
American Deli, I feel like that's
Fries are so
is good. But it's specialty. And like not a lot of people have American Delis.
I hate crinkle fries. So Zaxby's, Arby's
fries are so
hate their
good.
fries. Zaxby's fries are always soggy.
Well, no, I do
Always.
agree with that because
So no, the problem. I promise you, this will change like the rest of your life. So so Zaxby's, actually no, any fries in general that come in those containers, you're putting it in a plastic bag, and like
gets
all that
moist.
moisture is gonna go straight into the fries. I promise you, if you leave that place without a plastic bag, it changes it.
Will that help? I've never really
Seriously,
been a fan
next
of
time
crinkle
you
fries.
get places from any of those places that put your like container
Morgan,
in a
maybe
plastic
it's-
bag, say
Maybe
no
it's a
plastic
you
bag.
problem. Maybe it's a you problem, Morgan.
well, okay, no, I agree with the Zaxby's thing because like literally every time, whether we eat at the restaurant, which we rarely do, but when I do, they're still like soggy. Like very rarely do you get like a good, fully cooked, crisp fry from Zaxby's.
I've never had
It's
a
always
problem with
soggy.
Zaxby's fries.
Their chicken slaps, but their fries are ass. My top 3: Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Arby's.
Wendy's is actually pretty good.
As long as there's salt on them. Sometimes they trip.
Yeah,
and
you know,
don't salt
McDonald's fries used to be really good, but they just
I still
don't
like
get
them.
enough
I think they're
salt
my fourth.
anymore.
They are
Alright, so-
they're
so
really
good.
It's
They're
just
All right, so let's get into the brass tacks. Let's talk about let's build up. So number 4, I think for number 4, Chick-fil-A is a solid spot.
no.
It's between Chick-fil-A and
Chick-fil-A
Wendy's.
belongs in the top 3. What?
Chick-fil-A doesn't belong in there at all because their fries hate gay people.
I love how we all get silent.
that's not funny. But
Oh
just
man,
the way
we're
you
like,
said
well,
that.
First of all,
Their
it's not
fries.
the
No.
food's. It's not the food's fault.
do you separate the artist or the?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the food's fault, just the person who you're giving money to for them.
All right, so
Sad face.
who's number 4 then? Out of everyone that we have left, we have Arby's, Chick-fil-A, Checkers,
Burger
McDonald's.
King.
No, Burger King was 5.
No,
Burger
I
King
said
is 5.
McDonald's. Or yeah, probably
If you
Checkers.
put should be number
McDonald's
4.
before Burger King, I'm gonna like cry.
I
I
want to
feel like
fight for
Checkers.
Checkers though.
What?
You put Checkers.
Checkers has flavor.
It has
Checkers at
flavor.
3. At least.
Arby's has
See-
flavor and curly fries. Checkers fries are just they're
Put Checkers fries at 4.
You have your grease ratio. You have your seasoning.
I
which
said
is
the
on
same
point.
thing about Burger
the seasoning
King.
is the only good thing about Checkers fries. That's
You
that's
know
the
what?
only thing that's
You
good
know
about
what?
that.
No, you know what? Just based off what Jade just said, Jade, you're right. I believe you.
What'd she say?
So if you take the seasoning off of Checkers fries, they're Burger King fries.
No. Yes, literally.
Checkers
yeah.
fries are
Hold on,
bigger. They're like thicker, aren't they? They're
Hold on.
No, they're
big.
thin.
Wait. If y'all don't even know what
they
the fries
were thick.
look like, how y'all finna say which
I have
is
not eaten.
which?
I have not eaten a Checkers since I was like
They're-
in
okay,
high school.
I think
Checkers
for fair.
fries.
Well, then
you
don't
had
hate.
Popeyes fries?
Participate.
All right. So for fairness
I
of the
still know what they
list,
taste
for
like. You
fairness
can
of
buy them from
list-
the grocery store. I've
fairness
had
of
them
the list,
that
we're
way.
putting Checkers at 4. Now we have top 3.
I'd say
Chick-fil-A, Arby's.
Morgan.
Whoa.
And then
Why
McDonald's
you
or Wendy's.
still start with Chick-fil-A?
Whoa.
no.
They
I'd say
they're number
okay,
3 at least.
McDonald's at their peak is honestly like 1 or 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, at the peak, but they have
listen,
not been at their peak
as
since-
much as people talk shit about McDonald's,
love McDonald's.
when you need like that food to soak up the alcohol in your stomach at 3 a.m. in the morning, that thing slaps.
So basically, you have to be shit-faced to enjoy it.
No.
not
I've enjoyed
necessarily.
I hate
all-
McDonald's fries now.
all
I
the
used to
time.
love McDonald's fries, but every time I go, there's not enough salt.
Then you're going at the wrong time.
I feel bad. I was like the alcoholic in me was like, I don't see that as a problem.
What's your
Coming
point?
from the one who's
point.
drinking what you're drinking.
Right?
Wow.
Come on now, Chris.
As I take a sip.
Okay, all right. How about number 3 Wendy's, number 2 Arby's, number 1 McDonald's?
Actually, you know
Bitch, where the
what?
fuck is Chick-fil-A?
I guess she
Not on
doesn't
there.
go on the list.
Yeah.
No, because she goes on the list.
She's
'cause-
good.
No. No, she doesn't. Chick-fil-A does not.
good.
Chick-fil-A does not.
Is this
Homophobia aside, can we at least admit that they fries is good? We ain't gotta pay for them no more. But can we at least admit that they belong on that list, low key?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say their fries dipped in Polynesian sauce is.
If you have to have sauce
I like
with it,
them
then
in
it's not a good fry.
No, it's still a good fry without sauce. But with
Fries
sauce, it's
are
great
good with
too.
sauce. Like sauce just amplifies French fries. They're good regardless,
Like-
but the flavor is just
If
like.
you can't
from-
eat them, if you can't eat them by themselves, then they're not a good fry.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's when they're
If
not
you
on the
need a
list.
sauce
Yeah.
to eat it with, then it's not a good fry.
That's true.
Like with Burger King fries, I cannot eat Burger King fries without zesty sauce. Like that shit is nasty to me. So that's why I don't like Burger King fries
But like
by themselves.
homophobia aside, like Burger King, fucking Chick-fil-A is still like trash. Like homophobia aside,
all
it
right,
tastes like me
all right.
praying the gay away.
So how about let's do this? Who wants to fight for? Who wants to fight for McDonald's fries?
Being
Like just
number
in its,
one?
just in its place. Yeah. Who wants to like?
I would like to move that to number 3.
So we're
I
moving
say
at the 3.
McDonald's?
I say 1 or 2.
Yes, they've
honestly.
stepped their pussy down.
So who is number 1 then?
I say McDonald's is either 1 or 2 because if you get McDonald's
most
fries at
consistent.
the right time,
the most
yes,
consistent.
that too.
Arby's is the most consistent because for the past 10 years, their freaking fries have tasted the same. And they are still good. They've always been good. And then they give you that little thing of cheese with it, and that's like fucking bitching.
Okay, I've
so
only
like
been to
that's
Arby's
number
once,
one.
and they
Never
never
gotten
gotten
cheese.
with them.
You've never gotten cheese with your
What
fries?
are you talking about?
Did you ask for cheese with your fries?
Well, you're saying that like it's supposed
you
to come
can-
Yeah,
with
but
it.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it has to stand by
but they
itself.
have, like-
Remember?
Okay, well then still that's good because they've got spice and shit on them.
I think Arby's is number 2. I would give Arby's number 2.
Okay, so Chick-fil-A 3.
What I'm hearing is Morgan just wants to disagree with me. Everyone is against me.
Okay, but I feel like Arby's, Popeyes, and like what did I say?
Whoa,
Arby's, Popeyes, and
You did mention Popeyes.
All kind of go the same because other
You know
than
what?
Arby's
I forgot
being
about
curly,
Popeyes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They all taste the same, other than Arby's being curly. Because other than Arby's
That's
being
true.
curly, they all
Yeah.
taste the same.
Y'all, Captain D's fries are really good though.
I used to work.
Have you ever had Captain D's fries?
They're actually good.
They are so good.
I used to work there though. Fuck
I
that
don't
place.
like fish, but their fries don't taste like fish. They taste like fries. They
They're
taste
pretty good. Yeah,
They're really good.
I'm not gonna flex.
I'll put them under Burger King. I feel like they have the same type of like.
Oh, I would eat them before Burger King's.
Yeah,
No,
me
I
too.
agree.
Same,
Me too.
I agree.
Can we?
Burger King can fuck all the way
agree
off.
to take Burger King off?
Just
the list?
off the list
Please.
completely. Jade's gonna cry. Jade's like, fuck Jade.
That's the only one I'm fighting for. And like the only one I'm fighting against is the one all of you are fighting for.
McDonald's.
No, Chick-fil-A. you
Chick-fil-A, right,
hooker.
right, right.
Yeah, I'm against Chick-fil-A too.
You don't like Chick-fil-A fries or Chick-fil-A at all?
Thank
I
you,
could care.
Chris.
No, I could care less for their fries.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so I feel like Chick-fil-A fries
Tastes like ass.
are good, but I don't like the butt ones. Ugh.
The turtle shells?
Ugh.
That's the best one.
You're a sociopath.
The turtle shell. First of all, anytime that's why I like their fries and Wendy's because you know that they literally like cut those potatoes up and they're fresh. You
they
feel me?
all come from
Wait.
potatoes.
That's fair.
Wait,
But do you think McDonald's, like, first of all, McDonald's gets their fries frozen. They're
cooking
already
them.
cut in the French fry form.
You're cooking them in oil and you're covering them in sodium. It doesn't matter where they come from. They're unhealthy.
Look up how McDonald's make their fries.
okay, wait. I forgot. No, I was going somewhere with that, but I completely
Wait.
forgot.
Okay, so we're still fighting for number 3. Who's going in number 3? We have Wendy's. We have
I think Wendy's. Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Fine.
Okay, wait.
Wendy's is a good 3.
Wendy's breakfast fries are better than
Their
their
wedges?
regular
so
fries.
good.
Gosh.
They're
So good.
So know what's funny? I specifically had them the other day just so I could fight against this. But I think it was just the times that I've had it before wasn't good. But the last time I had it, it actually slapped.
Like
Wendy's
their
Yeah.
actual
fries?
fries or the
Yeah.
breakfast?
The breakfast fries.
Yeah, those are so good. So good.
Their breakfast is good, period.
Their breakfast is good.
They showed out.
Like, as
really
soon as we
did.
had this conversation in the group chat,
So
I
who's
sent a
number
picture
one?
of me eating Burger King fries and flipping y'all off.
All right,
did.
so number 1. So is number 1 going to the OG
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Burger King?
No.
No.
I'll see myself out.
I'll see myself out.
I think this is a solid
Solid
list. The tequila's getting to me at this point.
Tequila?
Tequila.
Yeah, and tequila and other stuff. All right, so number 5, Burger King. Number 4, we have Checkers. Number 3, we have Wendy's when it's made right,
Yes.
and it has salt.
Well, all of them are when they're made right.
You're right.
Because
You're right.
Sometimes whoever's working at the time, they just are a little bit lazy. Maybe the fry's been sitting a little bit too long.
To tell you the truth, though, I want to fight to swap number 2, number 1 at this point. Then
Wait, what's number 2?
Arby's
number
and
1?
McDonald's.
Arby's and McDonald's.
Are you saying that Arby's is always consistently fresh for you?
Yes,
Because
It
I don't.
is. It is.
Really?
Morgan.
I disagree.
I've
Arby's
never
have
been
since
Okay,
I was
because-
a child has tasted the exact
Because
same.
their stuff is
no.
pre-flavored.
I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not denying that their flavor is good. I'm saying is their freshness always like.
They've
Well,
been
I've
so
only ever been
consistent.
once.
I don't
so
think
can't-
so. Really?
I can't speak on consistency because I've only been.
You
once.
ate there for the first time like a couple weeks ago, didn't you?
Nobody really eats at Arby's, so everything they cook is to order. That's the thing. Like
That's fair, yeah.
I'm being very serious. Let's drive past Arby's on the way home, and y'all gonna see that bitch empty.
True.
I want Arby's now.
I'm saying number 1.
So can we? So yeah, can we?
We
swap
can agree that it's number 1. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool.
All right. So
Like I said,
fucks
I've
with
only
those
been there
fries.
once, but yeah. I can,
All right, so-
I can say.
revised list: 5 Burger King, number 4.
People are gonna hate us
Checkers.
for this.
Yo, and hey, listen.
People are gonna be like Arby's.
Arby's.
Who eats at Arby's?
People hate on Arby's
do
so
Arby's.
You know that
much.
Arby's is number 1 because Checkers is like the Laura Lynn of Arby's, and it still made it to number 4.
I don't get that reference. So,
Me either.
Laura Lynn, Great
Laura Lynn
Value,
is, like,
Walmart,
off-brand.
oh,
Ingles.
okay. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, you could have just said great
You
value.
could have said great.
All right.
I did,
So
the second
number
time.
5, number 5 Burger King, number 4 Checkers, number 3 Wendy's, number 2 McDonald's, and number 1 Arby's.
I'm good with
At
that.
us, please. Let's talk in the comments.
So we left Burger King on that list, and Chick-fil-A is not on the list at all.
Because they hate gay people, Morgan. Okay.
And they're not open on
Dang.
Sundays when
Yeah.
the world needs them the most.
That's when I'd be craving it.
My sister, she lives in Boston. Her closest Chick-fil-A is like 30 minutes away from her.
Lucky her.
And and she
There's 2 in our
loves
town.
she loves Chick-fil-A. So like when she's here visiting us for like a week and a half. And the first day she came, she landed on a Sunday. She's like, I want Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, well, bitch, it's close.
Saw it.
All right.
Unfortunate.
So that's the list. Please in the comments, let us know what you think. Anybody that like represents Arby's, send us some gift cards,
Please.
please. McDonald's too. I need to get my Flavor Fishes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Flavor Fish.
Wait, you eat the fish fillet?
Yeah.
What are you, an old white woman?
You're a cretin. That's disgusting.
Whose grandchildren call her Nana?
Do you like spend money
Are you a
on that
Nana?
for real?
Yo, where's all this coming from?
First of all, I don't like
Old
seafood to begin
women,
with, so.
old women eat filet-o-fishes.
Fast food fish just sounds like
I don't
sketchy
listen.
shit.
I like fish. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Maybe
Go
that's
Captain
maybe
D's.
that's another icebreaker. How about that?
All right.
I love seafood.
I'll be out of that one because
Okay.
I don't like
What's
All
the
right.
other seafood place besides Captain D's?
Long John
Long John
Silver's.
Oh, okay.
Long John Silver's is
I don't know why I was getting ready to
trash.
say freaking CC's.
All right. Wow, that's pizza. Man. It's pizza. All right. We have a new segment this week. New segment. We have unfortunate facts with Morgan.
Yes.
So while you're getting yourself prepared, I like new segments. I think this is gonna be good.
I'm nervous.
So basically, a friend of mine shared this particular fact that I'm going to share, and it inspired me to do this new segment where every episode I tell you guys a fact that you probably didn't want to know.
Like everyone has a little bit of poop in them at all times.
So what's today?
This is my segment, okay? So shout out to Deirdre, my girl. If you're watching this, thank you. All right, so shut up. All right.
I can't stop thinking about it now. Why?
You just ruined this for
Why?
me.
I'm sorry. It just like came out.
God.
No, it didn't. All right, guys. So today's fact is the FBI estimates that at least I can't even read it correctly. That at any one time, there are about 50 serial killers operating in the U.S. Mull on that.
So what does that mean?
At any one
there's-
time, so literally like every minute of the day, there's at least 50 serial killers like
Actively
work?
doing shit.
actively killing people.
Well, if you're a serial killer, me first.
let's not.
No.
For one.
Wow. Okay. And Whew. All right.
You know the pretty one dies
but
first
yeah.
and,
Next week's is going to be worse, so enjoy thinking about that tonight when you go to bed. You're welcome.
Unless you're the serial killer, and then you will enjoy thinking about that.
At that point, you're like, wow, there's so many of me.
Yeah, I've got 50 other friends out in the world that I don't even know about.
Wow.
If you guys have any ideas for some unfortunate / weird / disgusting
Facts.
awkward whatever facts, email me. Morgan Eldridge, ELDRIDGE at iCloud.com.
I just
email
started
them
using
to me.
email this year.
Yep. And then, and of course, in the comments, message how weird this fucking fact was. Or if you personally know serial killer.
This one was more creepy than
this
weird.
This is really,
Yeah, that one was creepy.
But yeah, we love hearing from y'all. Let's see you in the comments. So, this episode, I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump into our topic, and I feel like this topic can go like anyway. I honestly want to see where everyone like lies with this one, but this episode we're gonna talk about cancel culture, because cancel culture is like in 2020 at this point is so rampant. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous at this point. I feel like at this point, people that are being quote unquote canceled, some people I feel like, okay, they have said like wild shit in the past, but have like throughout time, like sort of like, redeemed themselves or like grew. Because me personally, I feel like people grow. Mm-hmm. Like people, like some people, they stay childish for a little bit longer. That's true. But at some point people grow. You don't punish a child for doing something that they've done like 20 years ago.
Yeah, but a lot of these people were grown adults when they started their YouTube their YouTube channels. I don't want to say who it is because it's Shane Dawson, but they like started their careers when they were in their 20s.
No, but let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. So yes, you have people that have over time have been problematic. When they stay problematic, that's when you can be like, all right, I can see where the cancellation's coming from. But, you know, there's some people that they may, like, just based on the times, they are just going with what the trends are. So with YouTube in particular, early YouTube was all about shock value. It was all about pranks. All that stuff now. Honestly, if you try to create like a prank channel now, you're not really going to go anywhere.
It's oversaturated.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And then there's also like
pedophilia has never been trendy. I just would like to say
that's the point. That's the point. Listen,
that he's talking
it's a buildup. It's a buildup. Listen, so I'm just saying, like, for people that have had like past where they might have made, and specifically for people, I'm coming for comedians, for people that are like they're going for the comedy value. Because I think Jenna Marbles, I think that's her name, right? Because I never really followed her, but like I've heard of her. Every now and then I may have seen like a clip of her and I was like, okay, that stuff's clever.
She made like videos like what guys do, blah, blah, what girls do, blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of made like a video mimicking Nicki Minaj and all that. And a lot of her stuff I think was just coming from a place of like, this is funny, right?
It's comedy. So
yeah.
So I think that
she's private.
So like my example is that look at shows like The Office. People love The Office. Mm-hmm. Could the Office be what it is if it was made now?
Yes.
No.
I don't know.
Watch like the first season of The Office. Seriously, watch the first season of The Office now and just see how cringy it is, see how sexist it is. There's a lot of jokes that would not pass.
Well, I mean, Family Guy is still Family Guy, and they make all of those jokes.
Family Guy makes like really offensive
jokes. But the thing is they make offensive jokes towards everyone. If you are a white person sitting on your place of privilege and making jokes about cultures that are like being disparaged all the time, then you are not a comedian. You are a racist. And that is that on that.
Okay, so sorry.
I think what the problem is though is like, what does it take for somebody to get truly canceled, and like where do we draw the line?
Jeffree Star has been canceled like 5 or 6 times.
And he's still making billions of dollars, still has 16 point something million followers. Shane Dawson, ever since his stuff has been coming out, more stuff has been coming out about him, quote unquote, you know, kind of being a pedophile. I mean, my thing is, he hasn't lost any followers either. So like, do we really care? Do we just want something to talk about at the end of the day?
Yeah. So I want to say that, I have some notes and stuff because I read into this. So, cancel culture, and this is coming from dictionary.com. Cancel culture refers to a popular practice of withdrawing support or canceling public figures and companies after they have done or said something considered objectionable or offensive. Cancel culture is generally discussed as being performed on social media in a form of group shaming. So, my thought on just the whole cancel culture, just culture in itself, it's a trend. It's a trend that when one person calls out someone, the hive mind comes behind it and they're just pointing and saying, oh yeah, they're canceled, yada yada yada. Are they really canceled or are you really offended? That's my
literally
question.
all that happens is the person makes an apology video and then everybody forgets about it in a couple weeks.
They sit on their living room floor and then they get right in front of the couch and they set their camera up and then they do this thing with their sleeve and they're like, so the past couple of days have been really hard for me because I made a lot of money off of a couple of jokes that really reinstilled the values that we already have in this country about people of color and LGBT people. Yeah, no, I'm over it. I'm over it. Laura Lee can get out of here. Jeffree Star can get out of here. Shane Dawson can get out of here. Jenna Marbles, you're welcome back. And
I love her.
James Charles. Did I say James Charles get out of here?
No, you have not.
Oh yeah,
James Charles needs to go away.
No, actually, no. He's not done anything wrong.
He said some creepy ass shit.
The thing is, James Charles's jokes, the things that he said that were controversial, he said when he was 17. When I was 17, I was calling people names for being LGBT to cover up my status as an LGBT person.
I feel
that's different. But when you're an established adult making millions of dollars and you're still making these jokes and you're still ignoring it,
I think people are still stupid in their 20s. Early 20s.
Velvet,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so obviously cancel culture is about famous people or people who have a intense following, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, like Doja Cat.
So okay.
We haven't forgot about you, Doja.
So, okay, recently I just saw this picture of a guy. I don't know if you guys have seen it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, your social media preference of whatever. Anyways, point is, there's this picture of this guy. He's in a wheelchair and he's holding up a sign about, I think one is Black Lives Matters and then another one is sorry I'm late or something like that, right? Assuming that he just now is understanding the movement, right? Also, there's a lot of people now who are apologizing to Colin Kaepernick because now they understand what it is that he was protesting about. So my question is, what makes that acceptable for us to be like, okay, yeah, we accept their, I guess, apology or we accept them learning something new and becoming more understanding. So what's the difference between that and then having someone who years ago, obviously if it's consistent and they haven't changed, then obviously yes. Mm-hmm. But what is the difference between someone years and years and years
Jenna
ago?
Marbles?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, she privated
she
those
would be the
videos
best
before.
example.
She privated those videos before they even
all
became
this even
controversial,
happened.
and she brought them up on her own. That's the difference between Jenna Marbles and other people. She took accountability before she was pushed to.
And no one even really had
all
to
these
call
other
her out.
YouTubers are being called out before they'll even bring it up. They're not apologizing beforehand.
They
So it's
have to
not
get
from
pressured.
remorse. It's from they want to keep their bank account where it's at.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Okay, for instance, that creepy girl. JoJo Siwa. She had a video where there was a circus zoo. I don't know what JoJo Siwa does. But it was
who she is. She?
Yes.
JoJo Siwa.
She was on. She started off on Dance Moms, but she's how old is she? 16 and looks
17.
and looks 11.
Well, okay, she just got out her contract, and if y'all are watching
She
her
dresses
TikToks
like she's
lately,
11.
not anymore.
Oh,
Like
really?
a 14-year-old now.
Oh God. Okay. So what about her?
That's 3 years of progress.
Where
Wait, hold
we're
on.
going with this?
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, anyway, so she everybody was dressed up as animals, right? So she had this one girl dressed up as a monkey. And people are saying that's blackface. And there's a lot of people trying to cancel her. And she's like, I'm not going to apologize because I don't have anything to be sorry for. It's a fucking animal, not a human being. Everybody was dressed up as animals.
What?
That's where cancel culture is becoming too much.
I see
However.
Hold on.
So-
How is dressing like a monkey blackface? That's literally racist as fuck
That's-
to even say that because
yeah.
you're saying black people look like
Well, now
monkeys.
people
Who
are,
the
a
fuck
lot
is
of people are
saying
trying
that?
to say that
That actually just irritated me.
they're
Yeah.
a good portion of Twitter is dragging JoJo Siwa.
So all right, so that's a point that I wanted to get to. That's a point I wanted to get to
mess.
because that's part of the whole hive mind. Like if one person, if like a group of people saying, "Hey, that's racist," other people are starting to like join in and say, "Oh,
my God,
yeah,
that is racist."
yeah."
Like
It's
Robert Downey Jr.
yes.
We know. We accepted that. Okay, Tropic Thunder is okay.
It's
you guys
literally
understand
has
the
a point.
context.
literally
Yeah, he
in the
did it
movie
to pick on people who did it before.
Literally in the
He
movie,
was a guy playing a guy doing blackface.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Exactly.
So real quick, shout out to Obama. He spoke on this.
Shout out to Obama for being Obama.
Yeah. He talked about this a little while ago, maybe a couple months ago.
I just love to hear
About
him.
just about the woke cancel culture. So we're gonna check this out.
I do get a sense sometimes now among certain young people, and this is accelerated by social media, there is this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself. Because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out.
I love him.
Let me get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. You know, that's not activism. That's not bringing about change. You know, if all you're doing is casting stones, you know, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Please.
Okay. I guess the frustrating thing is that this thing Morgan has in her hand that you've got in your lap, I've got in my hand, this phone right here, has all the information that you need to know about the Jim Crow era, about blackface, about racism in our country. And if you want to look up from your phone and just actually look outside and watch the news, you can see all of the things about racism and how it affects people in our country. So for people to have been able to walk all the way through their lives through American history, walk all the way through their lives with the phone attached to their hip, and they've gained their presence on social media, so they know how to use the freaking internet. It's not ignorance. They were just ignoring it. It's not ignorance, because ignorance is saying they don't have the knowledge. They had the knowledge. They had it put in front of them. They said, this is wrong, but it's funny. It'll get me clicks. It doesn't matter if it was socially acceptable or not. It was wrong. That's like saying, oh, Nazis were just people following orders. Like, it was wrong. They were told to do it. It was acceptable at that time, but it was wrong, and they were punished for it. And people like Jeffree Star, who goes out and calls people monkeys and calls them the N-word back to back and still makes millions of dollars.
Has sex with a drunk guy.
Needs to be canceled. People like, they deserve a lot of people coming at them and attacking them because they've taken money from people of color and ideas from people of color.
So who's like saying they shouldn't be canceled?
I mean, there's like his fans and Shane Dawson's fans are, of course, going to be like, oh, they don't deserve to be canceled. They don't deserve to be canceled.
No, it's more people saying, well, they can grow. They only grew because they're rich enough to grow.
So, okay, I think I'm linking the two together right now. So I feel like with the whole Jeffree Star situation, at least from my point of view, because I'm not a fan. I'm not the only reason I know of the name Jeffree Star is because I follow up on like just like current trends. So like shout out to Philip DeFranco. If it wasn't for him like telling about when times that he does something racist and like does something crazy about like that's the only time I hear about him is whenever it's in the news.
But I mean, I've been following Jeffree Star since I was like in elementary, middle school, like on MySpace, watching him.
No, but my point is that every time I hear about Jeffree Star, it's something problematic.
Right. He's
Well,
always
that's
in
so
drama.
funny.
So at that point, it's not something that they they haven't learned their lesson or no one's like taught them or no one's like saying anything. It's more or less like it's just a problematic person.
Yes.
Well, he
All of these famous people are problematic, though. James Charles has been known to be problematic.
for what?
For just being himself.
Elaborate specific details, because I can
His
give you
attitude.
that's not being that's not cancel worthy. Calling somebody the N-word, calling a girl a
That
monkey,
is problematic.
not providing makeup to people of color clinic, that is cancel worthy. Being a bitch is not, because then I'd be canceled. Like that's different. Like being full of yourself is not cancel worthy. Being happy that you make a lot of money. I mean, he worked his ass off to get there. He'd take a lot of risk to get there. He's allowed to be confident.
So here's
I don't like James Charles, but I'm not going to shoot him down.
All right. I feel like at this point, I want to start let's categorize like where this cancel culture, like where it's coming from, like what type of cancel culture there is. So there's like cancel culture, like you said, where you can't get canceled for being a bitch.
Right.
That's true. But you can get canceled for the whole Me Too movement.
I don't know actually necessarily because people are trying to cancel Leah Michelle because she treated like all of her previous.
Chris Brown has a vibrant career.
But but listen to what I'm saying.
True.
Listen. So like the whole Me Too movement, we can agree that if something comes up, if someone comes out and like all that Me Too movement comes out on someone, we can agree that person's canceled, right?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
No, I completely disagree.
What?
Wait.
There were, no, it's not a Me Too thing, but it's an attack from male superiority on female suppression. Chris Brown, there's pictures of Rihanna's face from what he did to her, and he has a very vibrant career. Cole Sprouse was just Me Too, and his career's not over. Justin Bieber.
Wait,
I mean,
somebody accused Cole Sprouse of sexual assault.
Yes, but even though these things were false, their careers weren't. There's people who are still trying to defend. What was his name? He roofied those girls. Y'all know he was like on a kid's show. Yeah, Bill Cosby.
Wow.
Yeah, people are still defending Bill Cosby. People are still defending Cardi B. Cardi B got Me Too because she drugged those guys and robbed them, and she still has a very vibrant career.
Yeah,
and she pussy popped all the way to the top of the charts.
Wait,
So
I
nobody
think Chris
thinks
mentioned
about
it in a
that.
different way though.
Yeah.
Chris didn't mean it like the way he was saying it. He didn't mean it like
No, but
He
that's
means,
what
like,
I'm
if-
saying. People don't care. It's not really cancel culture because nobody's being canceled. These people still have very vibrant
Bill
careers.
Cosby got canceled. He's in jail.
Well, you're right, people, but like the thing.
But but that's what I'm saying. Me Too. We can all agree that if you're doing sexual assault to someone, that's fucking wrong.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree,
That's
but-
wrong. Like period.
Oh, I thought you were
That's
talking about
wrong,
is it
period. That's
effective?
what
We
I'm-
agree
no,
that it's wrong, but a
period.
lot of people don't suffer the consequences.
But they should.
Trump.
That's
Yeah.
what they need to.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So why don't they? Why don't they get punished? Why are they not being
The
held
hive
accountable?
mind. The hive mind. That's why we don't have enough people, and that goes back to like Colin Kaepernick. The whole hive mind of like, oh, we have to cancel Kaepernick for taking a knee.
But
now,
we're not really a hive, are we?
yes, we are.
Okay. I would like to argue that point as well. There are bees who are way stronger than us because they have a lot more money than us, and they can keep these people successful. So no, we're not a hive. We're not operating together. There's a lot of people operating for us.
The fact of like when a society, when a culture is coming together and like with what's happening right now with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, like that is everyone. You have corporations talking about it. You have news companies talking about it. Like you have governments talking about it.
I feel like it's
everyone's
collective.
talking about it. It's everyone is like it's a focal point right now. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I agree, but I think it's just everybody agrees that what happened with Kesha was wrong, right? We all know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but he still was able to sue her and win, and then he signed on Doja Cat, and she's still on the number one. She's still being played all the time. She sat there and said the N-word, said "suck my D N-word" on videos, on live, and she's still number one. It's not a hive thing. It's these people who are putting these people on the radios who have the power to give these people platforms need to not.
No, but-
because we all don't like
but
them.
my-
We're all
but-
tweeting about it.
But my point is that it doesn't matter until everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
But aren't we?
But that's the thing is like it's.
If it's
sometimes
been
not-
trending for like
And it goes
3 or 4
viral.
weeks, look, this Jeffree Star stuff's been going on since I was in like 2017, my graduation year. That's like 3 or 4 years.
I think
Exactly.
I'm bringing up. I think there are two different things that we're talking about right now. Because like I understand there's like a whole thing with Jeffree Star, but then like I'm talking about. Well, I was originally talking about Me Too, and then that sort of got derailed. I'm trying to put it back together. Like let me go back to this point with Colin Kaepernick. How a couple years ago he was doing his taking the knee thing. He was then blackballed by the NFL, and now that Black Lives Matter is like in the forefront, all these companies are saying, "Oh wow, we understand," yada yada yada. Now we're hearing that NFL teams are now looking at Kaepernick to bring him back.
I find it interesting how the people who face the repercussions are often black men.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, Colin Kaepernick. People don't like them, and then suddenly they're canceled. They're fired.
Wait, Bill Cosby raped.
I'm not saying they did the same thing, but I'm saying that black men are held responsible for the way that people
Jesus
feel.
Christ. I'm talking about the hive mind of like we like as a culture, as a society, we all like we focus in on one thing at one time. That's why when like certain things happen, that's why we can see shifts. That's why Colin Kaepernick is now being looked at again, and people and teams are looking at him again
because we're making noise about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, and I see what you mean. I'm just.
So you're saying depending on what's trending at the time is what's gonna get.
That's all it is, honestly.
Because
that's why I feel like that's why Breonna Taylor, once she stopped trending, that's why you see her name everywhere now.
Yeah.
Because when Colin Kaepernick kneeled, nothing was, as far as I recall, nothing specifically was trending on that day specifically, or like that weekend. There wasn't a necessary. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments, whatever. There was not an incident that happened that week, day, whatever. Was it? No, I feel like there was.
The whole thing was just he was protesting against police violence.
Yeah, but was it specifically for someone?
No, it was just in general. But the thing is the NFL
like what had just recently happened.
Yeah. Okay.
For him to do that.
No. So what? Yeah. So wait. So what I'm saying is because nothing was trending, everybody just saw it as something else that he was like. They didn't focus on what he was like protesting for. They just saw it as something completely different. Whereas like Chris was saying now, it's like okay, say the George Floyd thing happened, right? And we were in football season or whatever. And that Sunday, what happened? That happened on a Thursday, Wednesday? Mm-hmm. That Sunday he knelt. Then people would have been like, okay, he's kneeling for this.
Yeah.
So it would have been more like not saying that what he did was wrong. I'm totally agree with what he did. It would have been more cohesive, and then he probably would not have been blackballed the way he was. I feel.
If I'm being honest, I think Colin being attacked the way he was is solely based off of his skin color. I think it is solely based off of what he was trying to make a movement for, and it wasn't popular at the time.
That's a given.
But that's the thing. I don't think it was really even a strategic. I think if there was an incident where a black person was killed by police and he kneeled, regardless, he would have been kicked off in that time frame. Because think about it. The NFL, who do you see out there waving their flags all the time? Who do you think is out there in those stadiums? Middle-aged to teenage white men. Like literally, you go out there, it's an overwhelming amount of white men. Have y'all ever been to an NFL game? I've been.
To the live games, there's a lot of white people.
There's an overwhelming amount of white people. It's like Alabaster American Convention there. It's like white. It's like NASCAR 2.0.
That's all I go.
But look at how NASCAR treated Bubba Wallace.
Because it's popular right now.
Because it was trending. Exactly my point. If Colin Kaepernick would have done that the weekend George Floyd
Back to this though. I feel like I kind of had an epiphany. The people who have actually experienced the results of cancel culture, because let's talk about it as a whole really quick, okay? There's Jeffree Star, white male. Shane Dawson, white male. James Charles, white male. Ariana Grande, because she stole ideas from the LGBT community. White girl, kinda. When she takes off her makeup. And who are the other ones? There's a lot of them. But the people who really resulted in the repercussions, whether it's justified or not, have been black men. R. Kelly, what he did was wrong, but he was held accountable.
But see, that's why
then again, Jeffree Star sleeping with men who are under the influence, and Shane Dawson saying that he finds a 6-year-old sexy. Nobody's saying anything to these people, and they're like they still have their careers.
Okay, I feel like it's a little bit different because, and when I say this, I'm not defending Jeffree Star, I promise, or I'm not defending
Shane Dawson.
There you go. See, I don't even pay attention to this type of shit. Okay, so I feel like when R. Kelly did what he did, there was plenty of witnesses, whatever to form, evidence and whatever to form, along with Bill Cosby, was able to form, some type of case against them. So that's why they eventually because a lot of people still support both of them, but they were able to get
What about the black actor on Empire? he staged that attack.
Are you talking about Jesse Smollett?
And nobody's heard of him because he faced the repercussions of his actions.
He got fired.
But Doja
But
Cat,
it was all like legal type of stuff. Whereas like not saying that the stuff that Shane Dawson did and the shit that Jesus fucking Christ, I'm about to say
No
Jeffrey
one has
Dahmer.
come out and accused
But
them of that stuff.
Exactly. It's just
Shane-
videos that we have seen that we are canceling.
That just sound
Whereas
creepy.
like it's not someone who's coming out. It's not the 6-year-old has not come out and said, hey,
Shane
he
Dawson
said-
outright said that he looked up child pornography on
I
Google.
know. But
That's
what I'm
illegal.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying is
I
like
remember
people
him saying
don't
that
take
on
it
that
seriously because it's just a video. I
And
feel
they
like
also
if
think he's
someone
joking.
spoke, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people take it as like he was saying
But he's not
earlier,
serious.
shock value. A lot of people take it as shock value. So that's why I'm saying like I feel like it's different. Not saying what they're doing is okay. I'm saying like there's
The
no
man
one
who
has
raped
come
Kesha
out.
is free and he's making money off of Doja Cat.
Okay. All right. Can we? All right. Here's a different shift of the conversation. Should comedians be exempt from cancel culture?
It depends. It depends on what they
No.
say. It
No.
depends on what they
Because
say.
going back to what I said earlier in the show,
Louis C.K. said the N-word during a sketch one time, like straight up with the ER. Is that okay?
No. No.
So then they shouldn't be exempt from cancel culture.
Roseanne had no right to call anybody, especially a person of color, a monkey.
so, and it goes back to people defending like shows like The Office. You have movies like Tropic Thunder. Like, can these shows and movies exist today?
They shouldn't. If I'm being honest, cancel me if y'all want. But The Office isn't funny anyway. It's not.
I thought some of it was funny. Have you seen the CPR episode?
I did.
I actually haven't seen any of it, so I can't really comment on that. But I don't know. As far as cancel culture that goes, I feel like there's some of I don't know. I feel like
But like, if a comedian's on stage and like they're making racy jokes, but like they're jokes, because I feel like as a comedian, your job is to sort of like push
fun at
poke
a lot
fun,
of shit.
poke fun at stuff, and like the stuff that people to the day to day like they
So-
can't really like say or do.
Okay, so I feel like I'm not really like into comedians because I don't find them funny anyways. But that's not the point. Like, okay, so what's her name? Angela something. She's Hispanic.
Angela Johnson.
Yes, her
bitch.
skit was. I remember seeing that on Netflix. That shit was extremely like.
She's talking about the
uncomfortable.
nail salon
Yeah,
sketch where
I'm
she's
sure you guys have
basically
seen it,
like she's impersonating an Asian woman, a Vietnamese woman,
Well, even
like
if
the
you haven't,
accent.
It's like super like offensive. Like
It's offensive to
hard to
Asian
watch.
American people.
it's
We used to laugh about that when I was in middle school. I watched it and thought it was freaking hilarious. And
So does it mean like
like
just comedy
So-
in a whole is canceled?
No, okay, but because see, look, this is where I was kind of going with that. I feel like most comedians they tend to poke fun at themselves. So like if someone is like heavier set, or if someone is like
Gabriel
say,
Iglesias.
okay, if someone is like Asian, or if someone is like black or whatever, they
Makes fun of
tend
their
to
own race.
Yeah, they tend to poke fun at their own like stereotypes. Like
I'd say-
like
I'd say-
George Lopez. I know George Lopez always makes fun of like Hispanic shit.
Honestly, Andrew Schultz, he's huge right now, and he literally says whatever the fuck he wants. But is the way his cadence is that he will make fun of himself, make fun of maybe his friends, and then start talking about something topical and be like, he'll say something that is sort of risky, but at the same time it's funny. But you see that all of it is like in a format of a joke, so you can't really take it seriously.
Here's the thing. When someone makes a joke about something, I have been at the hand of so many homophobic jokes. And the thing is when people make these jokes and other people laugh, it's because, oh, haha, I get it. I'm accepting this as like a common fact or ideal system. And I'm validating that with my laughter because it's funny. That's facts, right?
Now-
But then you have to draw the line because it's reinstating. We have given them a platform now. Comedians haven't always had TV and haven't always had the internet. Now they do, which means they can reach a larger platform, and people who agree with them and who actually live by these standards and this crowd who are laughing at them and clicking these videos of people making these kinds of jokes, it's allowing them to have an atmosphere where this is okay. And right now, because it is such a problem, because
it's all context though. Like if I'm, because me, I love going to comedy shows. I love like seeing stand up. So if I'm in a place and like I if I'm at a comedy club, I'm sitting front row and a person roasts me, I know I'm in a place where like I'm gonna get roasted. It's in a place of jest. Like it's
Okay, so to go with that, a lot of people, as everybody knows, Family Guy, South Park, those types of shows, they
Have you ever
all
watched Wild and Out?
but that's what I'm saying. Is like they all
insult the hell out of each other.
They insult everybody and everything. And South Park hasn't been canceled. Family Guy hasn't been canceled. Everybody, like from what I've seen on Facebook, when people bring up South Park or whatever, and they're making fun of whoever the fuck, literally everybody, they're like, oh, well, that's South Park. You're expected to hear that, or it's normal for them
I think
to
it's
make
something
fun
you
of
have
everything.
to take at face value, because a lot of it, like what you joke about, you're not saying that this particular thing I'm joking about somebody, like this particular black stereotype, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's a funny stereotype, and I'm gonna like kind of bring it up. You know what I mean? Like joking about something doesn't make it true. You know what I mean? It's just something that like
That's why, as Chris was saying, it's something that you have to like. You kind of have to see the context also,
I
because
think
as
a
far
joke
as like,
about a group of people is only appropriate if the person who is representing that group of people is actually a part of that group of people making the joke.
I can understand.
yeah,
that.
that's why I was saying is like usually, well, from what I've seen, because I don't really watch comedy
See,
that
that's
much.
like-
Just from what I see,
Like the guy who plays Quagmire, he stepped down. He's not a black man. He shouldn't be allowed to make
all right,
jokes
so,
about black
all right,
culture.
All right, look, all right. So that in itself, I have a lot to say about that. So much. All right,
Hit me with it.
okay, so there's two sides of these voice actors and voice actresses like stepping down from these positions. For one, that's a huge movement, meaning that people of different ethnicities missing out on these roles.
Mm-hmm.
They're now able to qualify for these roles. That's great. That's huge. I commend these actors and actresses for stepping up and doing that.
That's not what we asked for, though.
No, I was getting into that. That's this is great because like I have some friends that are in like they're voice actors and like they've been turned down, and then like when we see who ends up getting that role, it's not the person of the right ethnicity. So like it's something that we always scratch our head about, and of course, like you said earlier in the show, we all know why. We all know why. It's people not being called out on it. So that's great in itself. But also, Morgan, what you just said.
We didn't ask for that.
We didn't.
We want police brutality to end.
Exactly.
And these actors and actresses are stepping down from
It's a
roles as if
great
they're doing
thing.
us a favor. Like, that's great. Thank you. But that's not helping.
exactly,
Really.
and I feel like it's something like we were talking about this in the group chat. I feel like that's something that they're doing now because it's popular. It's because it's a movement. The same,
Yeah.
Right,
Going
she
back
didn't-
to
The
Colin
thing is,
Kaepernick thing.
The girl on Big Mouth, she didn't turn down the role initially. She took
exactly.
it.
That's what
She
I'm
could have
saying,
turned
is
it down initially, been like, no, you know what? Find a person of color to do
Okay,
this
here's
instead.
the thing. Okay, so as you guys so eloquently mentioned earlier, the beehive effect. Okay, so they're just increasing social pressures for other people to acknowledge racism.
Yeah.
If you're going to acknowledge it within the crooks and crannies of our system, as far as animation, there's no excuse for not acknowledging it within the police system. So I think it's actually a good thing, because with more people saying this may seem insignificant because it's just a cartoon, but it's more than that. This is
It is
people's
making a
representation.
statement, I
Whenever
guess.
I watched TV as a kid, I did not see trans people on TV. I did not see anybody like me. So I didn't know I existed. Not until I was an adult and I was able to do research and figure out what it was. So like when these kids are able to see white people stepping down and saying, this is your chance because this is what's right, that's so huge.
No, exactly. It is, and that's why I said
we're not
I feel
talking
like,
down on it.
no, like I think it's great, but I feel like they're only doing it because it's something
They
it's
felt
'cause it's-
pressured in a way.
Yeah, because
The
they felt
topic
like
right now is-
exactly because they felt like it was something that they needed to do beforehand before they did get caught or whatever. Because
Right.
I feel like Morgan said, like when you accepted the job 20 years ago, why did you think it was okay? Why? Like what happened in between the 20 years that you've been working that you did not see, hey, I'm playing a black guy, maybe a black guy should play this person.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's like, why now? I mean, because it's a big deal right
so
now.
the word white privilege is used a lot in our society right now. But I don't think people are really grasping I don't think anyone is really grasping what white privilege is. They are so privileged that they did not know that it was an issue. They did not know that it was an issue that they were going to take on a role like that, because to them it was like, It's a role. It's fine. Like I have
maybe
so
in
many
their head they're
opportunities.
like it's a cartoon.
Yeah,
Who cares?
but that's the thing is now that they've like had information presented to them that like people don't have these opportunities. I agree. They should have stepped down a long time ago.
Yeah. So years ago, I don't know if you guys remember when what the fuck is her name? Scarlett Johansson played Ghost in the Shell. So why did they not step down then? That was years ago.
And Emma Stone played an Asian person too. Okay.
Someone almost suggested that Julia Roberts play Harriet Tubman in that movie. They actually suggested that initially, and then they were like, "No."
Like,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you see the Avatar movie? The Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action movie, and it was played by all white people, and these are supposed to be Asian people.
Like when
Sounds about white.
Matt Damon played the Great Wall
Oh
movie.
my God.
Come on now. Come on.
That shit made me
but that's
so
what
They
I'm
do
fucking-
saying.
Asian
It's
people
like
so wrong in Hollywood. They do them
But that's
so
what I'm
dirty.
saying though. Like that shit was years ago. Why did they not see like the backlash that they were getting? That they were saying like, okay, a person of color should be played by a person of color. That was years ago. Why did they not take the initiative then?
I have a really it just came to my mind out of nowhere. Okay. I've been seeing on Twitter because I re-downloaded Twitter within the week that I said I had to delete Twitter because it's messy, but whatever. Anyway, what an Aries thing to do.
That lasted.
So, right? A whole like 4 days. But on Twitter, people are talking about like they're comparing White Chicks, the movie White Chicks, to blackface. Opinions.
So the reason you can't compare that, first of all, is because blackface has a history. The reason
racist
blackface came about is because of racism. You can't really compare those two because these guys just like made a movie and they were like, oh, we're going to go undercover as white chicks. You know what I mean? Like undercover cops as white women.
That's the joke. That's
Exactly.
the joke.
But
Right.
the thing
So
is-
it's like there's not a racist history of whiteface. Like whiteface is not a thing. It's never
But
been
the
a
way
thing.
that people are saying it is, well, blackface. Well, the way that people are saying it, like the way I've been seeing it defended, which I'm always going to like play.
Is it
devil's
because of
advocate for
how
the
they're
source of
impersonating the white girls? They're like, oh my God. Did
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is they're saying, well, blackface wasn't blackface until it became blackface, and then they took.
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah, well, they said,
Blackface was literally invented to mock black people.
Exactly.
and then, but like what people on Twitter are saying is that White Chicks was created to mock white chicks,
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
but it is.
I think
that is entirely true. It's 100%
Okay.
true.
But going back to what I said earlier in this topic is that
Context?
one's context, and two, I'm pretty sure these people haven't even seen White Chicks.
I
shit
love
is
White
funny as
Chicks.
hell.
I love that movie. I think it's hilarious because like, but I cannot think of a single white girl who behaves like that. I cannot think of a
The
single.
girls
white
in
girl
the
who behaves
movies acted
that.
like that though. So in a way they were impersonating the girls. You know what I mean? Like they
Right.
were acting like that to impersonate these girls so that they were believable.
Yeah.
I don't know because white people have never been oppressed. So
Okay,
like
wait.
I don't really
So like, have you seen?
I don't get upset when
Look,
black people make jokes
okay.
about white people. It does not upset me. I
do
don't
not
see
think
anything wrong
white
with
people
it.
have historically been oppressed.
No.
But I encourage everybody to go watch this documentary on I think it's on Hulu or it's on Netflix. Anyway, it's about basically what happened with the Rodney King riots. I watched it, my heart broke. Like it was so sad. But then after a couple of years, the riots are still continuing and stuff. And then as people are driving through the city, white people are being stopped and ripped out of their cars and beaten. White people for just being white. People who have not done, Asian people are being pulled out of their stores because an Asian person pulled a gun on a black girl who had turned around to get out of the store. She was not robbing a store or anything like that. And she was just leaving and she got shot in the back of the head by an Asian business owner. So then a lot of extremists got together and started to physically attack Asian business owners and physically attack white people in the street, pull them out of trucks, pull them out of their vehicles and beat them. And like, I mean, I watched the documentary. I'm not saying that white people have been systematically oppressed, but I'm saying human to human. If you look at someone's skin and say you're a bad person because of that, that's racist. It doesn't matter what color their skin is. Saying that racism is only partial to one race is racist.
What's it called? Do you remember?
Hold on, I can actually Google it.
There's a difference though between racism and prejudice because in
White
order to be
racism is-
racist, you have to have an advantage.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is it's not institutionalized. No,
you have to be the
racism
majority.
against black people is institutionalized into our judicial
You can't
system.
be a
It's
minority and be
institutionalized
racist.
into our education system. But
What were you gonna say, Chris?
I'm trying to like connect the topic to like the documentary that you're talking about. So like whatever these people are doing in this documentary, like that's wrong. Who's saying that it's not?
I'm not saying that it's not wrong, but I'm saying that like I'm arguing that in history there have been times where every group of I'm not saying that
and it's wrong.
This is not to minimize anybody's
who's fighting against it.
No, hold on. I'm not hold on. I'm saying that every group of people, and this is not to minimize anybody else's pain, but every group of people have gone through their own shit. So like white people at this point in history have you had a whole year of, what is it, 200 years in our country? A whole year where like in one tiny city, a couple of white people got beat. And now they're trying to put this on Twitter and like connect it to the White Chicks movie. And they're like, white people have been suppressed in history too. You have not.
Right,
you
so
have one movie, and you have a couple of people getting beat up.
How about this?
That's not suppression. That's a hate crime.
How about this? Fuck those people. Can we just say that? Just fuck them.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck like this. The whole like they're pulling, they're reaching.
Exactly.
When I'm saying this is a reach, this is a motherfucking. I'm angry. I'm upset that's a reach.
That's so irritating.
It's
so fucking irritating. Like, oh well, a black guy a few years ago killed a white woman.
Well, I would also
that is wrong. But that's
I would like to say also
like,
to clear up that I'm not saying that I agree with these statements. I'm just saying what's like on Twitter to where I can like.
Nah, fuck
bring in external opinions.
I'm triggered right now.
They're basically saying because a couple of people in one city in 1990s got beat up, and then they made a White Chicks movie afterwards. They're like, oh, well, we had our no, you did not have a Jimmy Crow. It's not institutionalized.
All right, so going back to the movie White Chicks and them portraying white women or whatever. Are we gonna go as far as to say as she's a man and Mulan is sexist because they play men? No. So
and also,
I
would like to bring up the point that in White Chicks, those girls were portrayed as rich. They were portrayed in White Chicks. The girls who they were portraying were rich. Dumb. They were very privileged,
and they were pretty.
They were very pretty. They had everything that they ever wanted. Mm-hmm. Now, black people who were portrayed by white people, well, black characters who were portrayed by white people were portrayed as uneducated. Ugly, ghetto, like, stuff like negative stereotypes. So if you're going to associate something with oh no, they think I'm like a bad person because I want to ask for a manager because I'm so privileged. Shut the fuck up. No, like shut the fuck up.
I don't know. I keep trying to like piece together this, like the whole conversation to me with like this Twitter conversation they have brought up with the White Chicks. It's stupid because
they're stupid ass comparison.
I see it twice a day.
I'm done talking about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's stupid because it's
so stupid.
It's not.
It's to me.
It's not a double standard.
It's just as disrespectful. It is just as disrespectful as bringing up black police officers who were killed in the line of duty. Like, you were just trying to spin a narrative to like. You're reaching. Yeah.
So okay. So basically, the people that are saying that White Chicks is racist or White Chicks or
it's another avenue to silence black pain.
Whatever, whiteface, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Whiteface is not a thing.
Yeah. So I feel like those people are just trying to feel like they've been going through some shit too.
Whiteface does not exist. Right. No, that's the thing. They're people,
trying to find
and I can say this because I'm white. I'm going to talk about white folks real quick.
Go ahead and speak it.
White people want to be the victim so bad.
Yeah.
The only thing white people are victim of is accountability right now. And that's why people are bitching, is because white people are being accountable.
The thing is, guys,
listen, guys. Listen, first of all, I'll get to that in a second.
How you going to search the whole world for all the spices and then decide not to use any of them?
All right, I will get to that in a second because some southern white grandmas know how to cook. All right, but I don't even remember what I was saying because you guys were.
I'm sorry
talking.
Because we came for your chicken.
White people want to be victims so bad, and the thing is, we're not asking. They're not asking us to apologize for being white. That is literally not what people are doing. No one's saying, "Oh, apologize," because we didn't do anything wrong technically, but we're benefiting off of this system,
which is wrong.
That is made us privileged. We are benefiting off of this and not acknowledging it. That's the problem.
Right.
That's all they want us to do is acknowledge that we have been privileged and shit needs to change. Period.
Like literally, the pain that's coming from the black community is because they don't have the same opportunities that white people are promised all the time. And I've seen so many white people just like losing their shit because I feel like it's because subconsciously they know that they have a privilege and they don't want to give it up. and they're comfortable with Black people not having these privileges, and being called out for that triggers a lot
Because it doesn't affect them.
yeah, and it triggers a lot of feelings because they know that they've got this advantage, and they're like, oh no, I'll be just like everybody else.
All right, so let's start rounding this conversation up, but let's bring it a little home. Let's bring it to home a little bit.
Cancel
Our
culture.
Personal lives. Have you canceled a friend before,
Yes.
and why? Not speaking names. We're not trying to be that messy. But if you want to be messy, I'm not going to stop you. But like, have you?
What do you cancel a friend for? What are some things that like that are a deal breaker for you? Like, this person is not my friend anymore. I don't fuck with them anymore. What does somebody have to do for you to just?
Okay, so
You know why girl friendships don't really last that long and guy friendships last a long time? Because when girls do something stupid, your girlfriend's like, that was stupid, bitch. But like when guys do something stupid, I mean, they're still friends with their friends who were rapists and their friends
yeah,
who
that's
were...
what I'm saying. Like, I've never necessarily canceled a friend because I've always either called them out or like spoke to them personally and been like, hey, this is a little problematic. But I haven't necessarily canceled anybody because
I think
of it. I feel
for
like
me, you would have to be just straight up racist. Like, if you say the N word with the hard ER in front of me, nah, I can't hang out with you.
I was gonna say
if you ever use that in your vocabulary, we can't vibe. I'm not down with that.
I've canceled people before even becoming friends with them because of like for me like you said it, like guys having friends that are like rapist and like sexist. To me, like once I'm like I see that that's just a person that they are,
Yeah, usually
I
when
don't
you
even-
first initially meet someone, you can kind of tell like this
Yeah.
person's
Okay,
not going to be
so
the type
I'm
of
going
person I'm going to be
to-
friends with.
I'm going to like admit something that a lot of people don't really like to admit.
okay.
Whenever I was growing up, I was in a white household, and jokes about race, about sexuality, about gender, about all this stuff was very, very normalized.
Oh no, that's all.
So see
households.
that? Okay, wait, really quick. See, that's what I was talking about at the beginning
Hold on.
of this segment. Is like, what you've obviously changed. If you've obviously
Because I
grown.
went to public school and I saw people, and then I heard facts from history books, and then I was like, what the fuck? It took me elementary school. And that's why I think cancel culture is effective. Because if I can learn it at elementary school,
That's not.
I mean, it's not effective, but in theory, it's great.
I don't
It's
know
still
because
not.
I feel like some people are so set in their ways, but they still could grow. That's why I'm saying.
Okay,
it's
but
like,
raise your hand if if you have cyberbullied a racist within the past like 6 months. That's cancel culture. That's cancel culture to a degree. If you're going to cyberbully a racist, screenshot it and post it on Facebook, that's cancel culture.
I'm too busy
Morgan?
to cyberbully people. I'll like laugh at people cyberbullying people.
That's
but I'm not
cyberbullying.
gonna- Is it?
Yes.
I'm pointing and laughing. You're right.
But we're not
You're right.
taking stuff. We're not fishing through people's Facebooks and looking at stuff from like
I
2010
have.
and being like, "Oh, you said the N word on Facebook in 2010." To me,
not like
stuff
that.
that's recent.
if somebody said
I don't
the
have
N word
I don't have
yesterday, I'm calling you out on it because you just said it yesterday, and you know by now it's 2020 that's not acceptable.
Yeah, but like
It's never
I've-
been acceptable, but I can see somebody like who said it 10 years ago, and then now
exactly.
today
Like-
they're
Yeah,
like,
like,
you know
I
what, I've
would
had a
make-
change of heart. I said it, once upon a time, and I'm
finish
sorry.
up what I was saying, like I said things like that, but then I got to a degree. There was like a dark period in high school where I was really struggling with my identity, and it's not an excuse, but I would make jokes about LGBT people. I would like follow a lot of conservative values, and I did it because I wanted. It was almost like there's these other people that you don't like, white man. Focus on them, not me. And then like I'll slip into the shadows and do my own thing. And but like over time you start to like I can't comprehend people not realizing it's wrong, because even whenever it was happening, I felt it like it was wrong. So like I have made my public apologies before cancel culture even became cancel culture. Like I've got videos from like 2015 on Facebook where like I'm apologizing because I don't know if people have recorded me saying these things in the past, but I know that I've said stupid shit on just because I wanted to be accepted, and it was accepted. But the thing is, it's still being accepted while people are saying it's not. And that's where the problem is.
Right. That's facts.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying though. Is like I feel like everybody can grow. Like you could like there's some white people who are very, very, very set in their ways because that's just how they were raised. Not saying it's okay. But what I mean is like not a lot of them, but I'm saying like there is room for growth. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like where do we draw the line between canceling them for saying that shit like 10
I've
years
canceled
ago
someone.
and then no, but that's what I'm getting to is like where do you like draw the line between like okay, say they're like very pro, towards this movement and everything, but 5 years ago they said some racist ass shit. Why do we cancel the famous people for doing that shit years ago and then them not like regular ass people?
I think the only
because-
reason why they
you see what I'm saying?
should be canceled is if they did these jokes and now they're not doing anything to benefit the community. If you take from a community and you acknowledge that you did something wrong, get back to it. That'll prove to me that you've understood that you've done it wrong. But a
that's
lot
what
of
I'm
these
saying.
people are not being activists.
They're just going on social media and apologizing.
It's making
and
a little
that's that.
tweet and saying Black Lives Matter. That's not activism. What
That's
are you
true.
doing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't. As far as like I said, I don't really follow Jeffree Star or I don't follow any of them, so I don't know what they're doing as far as like this movement or any type of movement or any type of like support for any type of whatever. So that's why I'm saying like I don't know if that's something that's real, like whatever. As far as like, but I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, where do we draw the line between like
That's where
accepting
we have
growth?
I feel like we're at a point where we haven't figured that out yet. As a
Wouldn't
society.
tabloids technically be a cancel culture for that generation?
In a way.
I think we've just given tabloids a different name.
Half of that shit
So-
though is like not fact. Like the stuff in the tabloids, some of that
did y'all
stuff
wanna
is
hear my cancel
not even
story?
true.
Cool. So there's this, so there was a politician in Pike County. I don't want to say who because it's Rebecca Hansen, and she was working with the 4-H program, which is school funded, and she basically they were like doing a pageant, and I was like a senior in high school, and in very thick, like with a Q, bold letters, it said biologically born females only. Do you know how that made me like? I wasn't even thinking about joining it, but then immediately I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like, well, fuck you and Joe Pageant, bitch.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing. Now she is in political office. I think anybody who can excuse that through a public, like, education platform. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I've reached and dug into stuff from 2016 and screenshot it and put it all over her Facebook posts and campaigns and been like, do not vote for Rebecca Hansen.
So
Or her kids or anybody.
I don't know why this memory popped up, but to not defend any of that whatsoever, not to defend it, I do want to say once again, it's a culture thing because, shout out to the trio I work for. We brought some students up north to New York to do a campus tour on a college. Tell me why none of these kids, some of the chaperones that we had, have never seen a gender neutral bathroom.
Interesting.
There's gender neutral bathrooms.
Up north,
some places.
Up north, and like our tour guide was like, yeah, and here's a gender neutral bathroom. There's a regular bathroom.
This is off topic, but like I have so much fear every time I have to go to a restroom. Cause like once I like, okay, we go on road trips a lot with my job. And every time I go in, I'm like, I can't go to the men's because I've been sexually assaulted in a restroom before and it's mortifying. I can't go to the women's because I had my hair extensions ripped out and called a faggot. So I just like, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And it's only because I'm existing. So like, that is a very, like, I did not know there were gender neutral bathrooms. That would have saved my life in so many situations. I would have been so.
In some places.
I've literally gone into like the one stall bathrooms, like that you go to the Shell station and stuff. And I've gone into the women's one and they're out there banging on the door telling me to get out.
Yeah. So like, just like we're, if you don't know, we're all in the South right now. Gender neutral bathrooms is definitely not a thing.
I've only ever seen one once here, and that was at the bakery in Atlanta. Shout out to y'all.
I feel like I've
But
seen.
I feel like Atlanta
I've
is like
seen it a
a-
couple
I've
times
seen
here.
family restrooms.
Yeah, no, but like it was like legit
Like
gender
gender
neutral.
neutral.
Yeah. So I think with your story, like
I
it's
androgyny that.
it's something that like as a whole country, as a society, we just need to do better. We just need to do better. So I want to exit this all out with a quote from it's Dana White on Twitter. Not the Dana White like the UFC, but it's Dana White. A whole different person. So just so like you don't like, oh, Dana White's no, it's a different person. So we don't have to call it cancel culture, but we should name it the cultural norm of only holding accountable people that you never liked and have been waiting to make any mistake who you couldn't use, who you don't find attractive. So going back to my point of cancel culture.
So people are basically using this against people that they want to cancel.
Yes.
We will have to do
Because we're not going to be digging up. I'm not going to be digging up. Well, you're not going to be digging up shit on somebody that you like, right? Because you like them. You're not going to. You don't want to know anything negative about somebody that you're a fan of.
Doja Cat's Pink album. I like every word to it, and I won't. I've deleted all of it. I don't follow her on anything now. I have nothing to do with Doja Cat because she literally disparaged an entire race of people.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point right now, the point of this tweet is that people.
It's a good point.
People, they've already pre-canceled people that aren't canceled already.
Well, I mean,
They're
it's
just
partially
taking this
correct.
as an
I'll agree it's
opportunity.
partially correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for a lot of people, it's for like Shane Dawson, people have not like Shane Dawson for Onision, people have hated him for a very long time. Like those people I can understand. Jeffree Star, people will like look past so much for him.
And that's a whole different conversation. A whole different conversation that we'll have on a whole
I don't
different
know if y'all
episode.
can tell or anything, but I really do not like Jeffree Star. I like hate that he has a platform. Yeah, I cannot stand.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, you can't? Oh, well, if it's
Up until
unclear,
recently, I was a fan.
Jeffree Star is garbage. Okay.
And on that note,
Y'all,
Some smooth jazz.
this is episode 3. We're signing out. Anybody want to shout out anything?
Chipotle. That's all.
shout out to Arby's with them curly fries. Arby's, if you hear this, please sponsor us.
And Burger King. Just me, not everybody.
Shout out to Jade for that androgyny joke.
That was funny. That was great.
Stop it.
Did you hear her?
You're finding me funny.
That shit was funny. I was trying not to laugh because
She said, "I androgyny that."
I do. I androgyny that
fantastic.
bathroom.
that was funny. So yeah, that's my shout out.
Shout out to everyone that's been, fucking with us for the past couple episodes. We really appreciate you. We appreciate all of the views.
Yes, thanks, guys.
So this is something super important. Super important. If you can, please find our page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please give us 5 stars. Please rate, say something nice. That will help boost us up with the algorithms. And you should know, algorithms are key. It's super important. And with us just starting now, it's super important. So please, like everything, share everything. I love when I see people sharing our content. That's great. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to everyone here.
I really enjoyed this episode, actually. It kind of got a little heated, but I really enjoyed it.
And that's the whole purpose of this podcast.
Porpoise?
Porpoise.
Porpoise, like dolphin.
Whole purpose of this podcast.
I thought that was a turtle.
The purpose of this podcast is to talk about things that are uncomfortable but need to be spoken about. Fuck you guys.
No, we're not laughing at you anymore. We're laughing at this bitch over here.
I don't know this bucket.
I thought that was a turtle. Bitch, that's a tortoise.
Shut the shell up.
Y'all, thank you guys. I do want to shout out the Henny Haters Club. Search them. I was on their last episode.
What a way to
Great
end this
time.
bitch.
Great episode. Love them. And I've reached out to them, so we may see them on one of these episodes soon.
Are we still recording?
We talked
Yeah,
through
we're
the
still recording.
we talked through the whole damn song.
We talked through the song.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah. So
Have a beautiful time.
With that, guys, we are out. Peace. I appreciate
Have a beautiful
y'all.
time. Jesus.
I'm like low-key drunk.
I hate it.